If you are an Instagram theme page owner or you are someone that's looking to start an Instagram theme page, this will be one of the most valuable videos you have ever watched. I'm going to walk you through exactly why some of my clients and some people that I see on Instagram with theme pages consistently lose followers or they plateau at a certain level. So if you run an Instagram theme page and your account has been stuck at 20,000 followers, 100,000 followers, whatever the number is for a long period of time, I'm going to walk you through step by step how to fix that and the reasons why your account is plateauing. So without further ado, let's get straight into my computer and take a look. All right, guys. So why your Instagram theme page stopped growing. So there's a bunch of different reasons why, and I'm going to break them down. But if your analytics look anything like this guy over here, where, gain followers one day maybe because you had a random post do well, and then you just are consistently bleeding, consistently losing followers, and maybe it's getting worse and worse like this. Maybe you've been sitting, up and down for the past 6 months. Algorithms change and your content needs to change too. And I'm seeing more and more accounts run into this issue where they're just stuck. They're stuck, right? So I'm going to tell you exactly why your theme page stopped growing. It could be one of these issues. It could be all of these issues. I promise you, if you watch this video through from start to finish, I'm not going to have any fancy editing. I'm not going to have any, Mr. Beast cuts, anything like that. This is going to be straight information, straight given to you straight up. So I need you to take notes. I need you to lock in for 20, 30 minutes, however long this takes. Take notes. If you're serious about turning this into a full-time gig, you're going to have to gain followers. So take notes, lock in, put your headphones on, put a hoodie up. So if you watch this, I can guarantee you will start to gain followers again if you implement all of these things, especially the ones that you're not doing. So you might be wondering why listen to me. Well, my name is Drew. I run Daily Athlete, a page with over 260,000 followers on Instagram, along with a few other pages. We have over 1 million followers across all platforms, and I do it full time. I've helped hundreds of students achieve their goals of whether it's going from zero, like they've never ran an Instagram page before, to 100,000 followers, or maybe someone's stuck and they can't grow anymore, so I've helped them take their account to the next level. Or maybe they're growing fine and they just want to start making serious money from Instagram. I've helped them do that as well. I made my first $10,000 online while I was still in college with 2 internships running Instagram theme pages, and I've helped scale multiple pages to 100,000 plus followers. And this everything that I do really has shown me that it is possible to be landing $3,000, $4,000 brand deals consistently. And I do this across all of my pages. And that's what's allowed me to take this full time. So enough about me. This is 1 month right here, 36 million views. As you can see, 15 days, getting paid from views, things like that. These are just some screenshots. Even over here, TikTok's paying me money as well. So social media is the real deal. You just need to lock in and you need to act like this is something that you really want to take full time, and you need to act like it's a business. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. And I say 15 to 25,000 followers here, but this really is at any follower amount. So you could be at 100K and you're plateauing. This still applies. So why most creators plateau at, X amount of followers. So here's the things we're going to go through today. So we're going to talk about the plateau trap, content identity crisis, not having a unique voice or a brand angle, repeating formats, inconsistency at some point, no innovation, posting blind, ignoring analytics, over niching, and then no distribution, no community. So let's go ahead and get into the plateau trap. So if you are flatlined or stuck at the same amount of followers, I will break down exactly why in this video. So many accounts do this, so many accounts get to this point, and it's because of a lot of different things. But I think it ultimately comes down to people get so stuck on one algorithm when they first started their page. Maybe there's, the algorithm tells you to post a bunch of reels. The algorithm tells you to post, funny content, whatever it is, whatever it worked in the beginning for you. And then they run their page for a few months and their engagement just dies. Everything dies because they fail to realize that the algorithm changes month to month and you need to stay on top of things. So that brings me to the next point, content identity crisis. So I see a bunch of pages, especially under the 50,000 follower mark, where I go on their page, and if I were to just pull up a random post from their account and show it to the account owner, chances are they wouldn't even know that that was them posting it. They have no branding. You know, their logo maybe is just Chat GPT or something. They have no real branding. Their username maybe he's got a bunch of, underscores, numbers, whatever. And when you scroll through their page, you don't see any consistency. You don't see any branding. You don't know, who, if you were to see this account on your feed, which all of their followers do, they don't associate it with the page. You want to have a unique brand. You want to have a memorable brand as an Instagram theme page, because as you put out good content, subconsciously your viewers, your followers are going to associate the good content with your brand. If you're just posting random things, or I see some accounts posting other people's content and they just keep the person that they're reposting from, they keep their name and everything on there. One, this is okay to do here and there, but you should take that content, reformat it, re-switch it up to a way that it applies to your own page, and then post it yourself instead of put some effort into it. Yeah, if you only have 5 minutes today to post something, then that's fine. You can do that. But most of the time, you should be sitting down, you should be locking in, and you should be taking this content that someone else has posted and switching it up into your own brand. And I'm not saying just copy and paste what they said. I'm not saying just take their tweet, copy the body, and then, post it yourself and then just repost it onto your page. That's not what I'm saying. Use your brain, use AI, use all of these tools that you're given, and be creative and switch things up. And sometimes you'll switch it up and it will do 100 times better than if you were to have just reposted it. So when I look at pages, it's hard to tell. Sometimes it just looks like a random dump of content. And that's what I mean by a random meme page. It looks like a random dump of content from 50 different sources. You see some random tweets from people. You see some Reddit posts from people. You see some screenshots of other people's graphics. And it's just, there's no real brand. There's no real voice. So you need to switch your account into a branded account. You need to start having, your logos on posts, things like that, to differentiate yourself and to subconsciously allow your followers to associate your account with positive things and to associate your content with your brand. So that way they, can follow you, and that way they can consistently see your post. And then later on, it's going to pay off too, because if you try to sell something or you try to create a community, they're going to be more likely to join because they remember your account and they trust your account. So that's what I mean by content identity crisis. So once again, people follow you for you and not just for the content you're putting out. So when you look at one of the accounts, or when you look at one of the posts on your account, are you able to tell that it's your account or not? Or does it just look random? And audience awareness is real. So this is really, you need to, this is more so saying that you need to understand your content and you need to know how to post it properly. And then this is kind of getting into the whole awareness and making sure your audience is aware of what you're posting. So these two go hand in hand. The next thing is not having any formats or templates. So all of your captions, once you find captions that work, you should have, a consistent type of caption going. You should have, if your caption is 5 paragraphs long, that should be your account. You see some accounts are more informative. They have longer captions. Some accounts are more to be comedic. They have 1-sentence captions that are just funny. You need to understand this all comes down to your voice. You need to have, a system in place for captions, a system in place for, your layouts, your templates, things like that. You should have templates that you are making posts with. You shouldn't just be taking screenshots. Your account should not just be a screenshot. Your account shouldn't be a camera roll. It shouldn't just be a bunch of screenshots. It should be branded content that you are actually creating. And yes, you can get to 15,000 followers easily with just screenshotting and reposting things. But that's not going to get you to, It could maybe get you to 100K if you're posting a bunch of reels. It's not going to get you to 500K. It's not going to get you to 1 million followers, and it's definitely not going to get you into the big leagues if you are just reposting everyone else's content without, adding your brand to it at all. I see so many people come to me, and I can tell within 5 minutes of looking at their page that at some point in time they put down the phone, they logged out of the page, they got busy with sports, whatever, and they just stopped posting. And every single time you do this, although you may not actually lose followers, which depending on how long your break is, you will start to lose followers, but even if people aren't physically unfollowing you, you get erased from their algorithm forever. Some people follow 6,000 people, and it is possible to consistently pop up in their feed. But the second you take a week off, the second you take a couple days off, these people lose your account, and they lose your account forever. Unless, maybe months down the road when you come back, you can maybe bring them back in. This is how you get ghost followers. This is how you kind of, essentially, if you have 200,000 followers, you take a break for a month. Now you're probably sitting at like 150,000 real followers. And the longer break you take, the more ghost followers you're going to get, the lower your engagement goes. And then that's really how you end up getting stuck, because now you have to dig yourself out of this hole. So you must go all in. You need to go all in with your page. You can make serious money from Instagram theme pages. I do this full time, and so do thousands of other people. So it is possible. Lock in. If you are doing social media, if you are posting on this theme page because you like social media and because it's just fun, which is why you're doing it, you can take this into your full-time job. Why would you want to go work for someone else? Why would you want to do something else when you have the opportunity to do something that you're already enjoying? I see so many people come to me and they post on their Instagram theme page every single day, and they make $50 a week. And it's like, if you are putting in this much effort for $50 a week, imagine the amount of effort you would put in if you could do this full time. So every single break you take takes 5 times as long to get back on track. You either need to go all in, or you need to just put down the account, sell the account, get out of it, because you're eventually you're just wasting your time. So you got to go all in on this, or just stop trying at all. The next thing I see is, people just do not innovate. So Instagram rewards freshness. If you are not experimenting, you are invisible. So many people out there don't, like, the Instagram will add a new feature here and there, right? Every couple of months they'll add in a new feature. Use the new feature. Unless it completely doesn't apply to your niche, unless you have no idea how to use it, unless you see no one else using it, use the new feature. Instagram rewards people that use the platform the way they want them to use it. So use new Instagram features and stop getting stuck in old algorithms. So if you are the type of person that joined when reels were doing super well, and everyone's like, oh, post a bunch of reels, you don't need it, and you're only posting reels, you're going to get stuck at some point, because reels are going to fall off and something new is going to come in. So stop getting stuck in old algorithms and start to implement what people are doing now. And the easiest way to do this is study the big pages, study the big dogs, the ones with 10 million plus followers, the ones that have teams researching stuff constantly, see what they're doing. Then study pages around the same followers as you that are getting better engagement, that are growing quicker than you. And then study pages that are a little bit bigger than yours. And all of these pages are going to give you information and tell you what's working and what's not working. So if you see a page growing 5,000 followers a day, they're doing something that you're not doing. Figure out what that is, and then lock in and see how you can apply it to your page. And it doesn't even have to be pages in your niche. It can be theme pages in general. And you can take ideas and stuff from other niches and turn them into your own. So the next thing I see people doing so often is just posting blind, or having absolutely no system at all with their posting. So, and I used to do this too when I was, first starting, is I would just open my phone and be like, oh, I haven't posted today. I would just open my phone, find the first post that looks good, take a screenshot of it, and throw it up on my account. And this was this doesn't not work. You know, you can get away with it, but once you get to a certain point, it's not going to work anymore. And that's kind of the theme with all of these is they'll work up until some point. You can just post blind with no system up until some point. Are you ever going to be able to land brand deals? Are you ever going to be able to make serious money from the page? Are you ever going to be able to continuously grow into infinity? No, because you're just a hobbyist. This is just a hobby of yours. You have no data, no refining, no growth. You need to lock in on all of these things and stop treating it like it's a hobby. Treat it like this is your job and lock in on it. And this is going to allow you to consistently grow, consistently get good engagement, and brands are going to be begging you to post for them, and they're going to be begging you to give them money. So randomly opening your phone because you need to post something today is no longer acceptable. It's never going to work. So you need to start having some type of system in place, whether it's 2 posts a day, 3 posts a day at this time, and you're, getting the post ready the night before to go the next day, and you're always a day ahead of content. That is where you're no longer just hoping, you are actually doing it properly. The next thing that goes along with the last one is just ignoring your analytics entirely. Not tracking, swipe through rate, not tracking shares, not tracking saves. You're just kind of flying blind, as I like to say. You're not focused on the data that Instagram's giving you for free. There's a reason Instagram gives you all this data. It's because they want every single account on the platform to post good stuff and to get better over time, because then they get more money from advertisers, because people then spend longer time on the app. If every single Instagram page was insanely good, people would never leave the app. They would just be stuck. But when people come across bad content, when people come across things that they're not interested in, that's when they exit off the app. So if you can prove to Instagram that you are consistently putting out good content, there's no reason why Instagram's not going to put you to the front of everyone's feed. So the best in the game, they track everything. They have spreadsheets. I have spreadsheets where I track KPIs. I have spreadsheets where I track, what type of headlines work, which ones don't. You should be analyzing content at least once a month. So every single month I go through and I look through my 10 best performing pieces of content and my 10 worst performing pieces of content, and I lock in what went well, what didn't go well, and then I move forward from there, and I'm constantly raising my content floor, and that's what you guys need to be doing. So over niching. So if you have a super, super tight niche, for example, David Goggins, if your account is about David Goggins, at some point in time, David Goggins has 1 million followers himself, right? So at some point in time, you're going to run out of audience share. There's only so many people that would follow David Goggins and a David Goggins fan page, right? At some point, you can never get to 10 million followers. It's just not going to be possible. So if you have a David Goggins page, for example, you've boxed yourself in pretty tight. Now, if you're at 100,000 followers with the David Goggins page and you're plateauing, it just means you've run out of audience share. So what can you do now? Well, you can now maybe transition your page from David Goggins into just a general motivational page. And when you do this, you are now allowing you to reach the next level. Yeah, maybe you're going to lose 5,000 followers because people are going to be like, I don't know what page this is, whatever. When you rebrand, it doesn't matter, because in the long run, you will be able to get to 1 million followers. You'll be able to get to 2 million followers, because now you've expanded out into such a large audience and such a large audience share that you're able to get a bigger piece of the pie. So the tighter you niche it, the lower that your ceiling is. At some point you'll hit the ceiling, and then you got to make a decision, where do I want to go from here? And the last thing is simply not having a community or a distribution, or distributing into other channels. So if you're relying 100% on Instagram, this is very risky, because Instagram dictates everything for you. So you need to be expanding to other platforms if possible. At the bare minimum, you should be cross-posting. So, you need to build out an email list. You need to be cross-posting your content. I'm not even saying just, make a new piece of content for TikTok and a new piece of content. Just take whatever you're putting on Instagram and put it to other platforms until you build that audience up big enough to where, and you're making money from the other platforms to where you can now hire people out to run them for you, and then maybe get some new pieces of content going. But to start off, just simply cross post all of your content. And, you know, TikTok and Instagram very similar with the type of content that will go viral. When you get to like Facebook, Twitter, things like that, you might have to switch up your content a little bit because it's not going, you can't just put like a carousel on Twitter and expect it to get a million views, right? So this is how you're going to, number one, get a more loyal fan base. If you have an email list, you can send out emails, you can develop a connection with them. If you can maybe get a text SMS list going. You're gonna start gaining followers on other platforms. This is all going to improve your brand awareness. And even if it's just creating a Discord or creating some type of Instagram has that feature where you can have an Instagram group on your page. Even just small things like that allows you to build a sense of community and allows you to dive deeper into your audience and really see who your core and who your real fans are, who your real loyal followers are. And this is going to allow you to stop plateauing and get to the next level. So that's everything, guys. Like I said, 20-minute long video really goes into detail. If one of these things isn't working, fix it and apply it and then see what happens. But at the end of the day, guys, I work with people one-on-one. If you are looking to get to the next level, if you're not sure why you can't make money on Instagram, if you're not sure why you're unable to grow on Instagram, if you're not sure why you plateaued, if you're looking to just start an Instagram theme page at all, click the link down below and apply to book a call with me. I would love to work with you guys one-on-one. I work with all my clients one-on-one. It's me working with them, and I take them to the next level, and I make sure that they get the results they're looking for. So whatever, problems you're running into with your theme page, if you truly love social media and you truly want to do it full time, that's the same exact position I was in, and I would love to help you get there. So you're already posting, you're already sitting down creating posts every single day, and maybe you're not making any money at all. Maybe you're just getting paid here and there. Let's lock you in and let's turn this passion of yours into a full-time gig. So thank you guys for watching. As always, go ahead and subscribe if you are interested in seeing more pages or more posts like this. I'm going to be posting once a week. So, and it's all free value for you guys. I want to see you guys win. So I'll see you in the next video.